Hello guys, so welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a cake topper of another Paw Patrol character. In this case, I'm going to be making Rocky. So here super quickly, I'm showing you all of the tools that I'm going to be using. So here are just the typical modeling tools, a few brushes and small rolling pin, some toothpicks. And then I have some styrofoam balls. Those are not white fondant at the left corner, which I usually use for the figures when I don't want them to be super heavy. Okay, so right now what you can see is I'm already just covering what's going to be the head. So I use the biggest one because I like the characters to be a bit big-headed. I think they look cuter. So this is like my third video. So let me know if you think this is a bit too fast. I think it's okay. I didn't want to make it super long, but I think it's just about enough so you see how I model the little guy. Okay. So what you saw there, I was just pinching the little air bubbles with that little tool. And here I'm just doing a bit the whiskers of so Rocky, I think, is like a little wolf or kind of a shepherd dog, I guess. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. Let me know later on the comments if you feel that I'm missing some of the details or if you have any questions of what I'm using. So you can see that it looks pretty greasy. It's because I use a lot of Crisco. So this is just vegetable shortening to make the figures so that it doesn't dry out, okay, the sugar paste. If you've seen another of my videos, you know I usually use the modeling paste, which is Saraceno. It's super good. I'll leave it later on the comments below. Okay, so here I'm putting the little mouth. So what I do is I try to shape and then just blend the two pieces together. If you have a bit of difficulty doing this because it'll leave some traces, it's always good to use a bit of water. So I don't use any edible glue or anything. I just use water, to be honest, to paste the pieces together, and so far so good because anyway the paste has a lot of sugar, so it should work. So here I'm just kind of doodling with the mouth until I get the shape that I want. And then I'm just, kind of shaping the little mouth of the doggy. I hope also the focus is okay, that you can see the details clearly. Okay. And sorry for my fingers, they're super full of edible coloring, or food coloring anyway. So you see here, I'm not using, as I said, any edible glue. You can, if you want. I have a recipe using Tylose with a bit of water. You can make the edible glue. But to be honest, I've tried, and I think with water it's already good enough. So these are just little pieces of pre-dyed fondant to make the little eyes. So it's just work with really tiny little balls to make the details. And it's just the shine of the eye because I think it gives it a lot of I don't know, like life to the characters. So you can already kind of see his actual face there. So I've been asked to do a lot of Paw Patrol cakes lately. So if you guys want to see me doing another of the characters, I'm going to be just filming. But if you have any preferences, I started out with Sky. So now I'm doing Rocky. But I can, I don't know if you want to see me doing Rubble or Marshall or whatever. I like kind of know them by heart now. So this is just a little hat. It's also when you're doing figures like these, you'll see what works best for you, like which piece is more helpful for you. I like to start with the face or with the head so that while I'm doing the body later on, the head kind of dries out and then it hardens a bit, and then it's easier to stick the two pieces together, because otherwise you can kind of lose the shape or squish it without wanting. So it's good to just, kind of decide which are the pieces you want to start off with, so that you don't accidentally, squish the shapes. So just sticking here the little ears. So the inner side of the ears, as you see, is just a mix of the lighter shade of gray with a bit of black, just to make it like the correct shade. I don't have a lot of food colorings. What I usually do is just play a lot with mixing. That's the good stuff about fondant, that it really blends super easily. Now this part is also kind of whatever you want to do. Like, if it's kind of optional. If you want to put like the lashes, I think it also gives more, how do you say, more character. Maybe it's a bit redundant, but and as you can see, I mean, I don't have a lot of like, I do have molds, but I don't use a lot of molds. I just usually use like a very, very sharp knife. This is important, or kind of a cutter, and then just shape as you go. I think it's easier. I know there's people that have like tons of molds, but then you never really have as much flexibility as just doing it yourself, So there's a cap. And there, what I'm just using again is just a bit of water. So here's the body. So you can see that I'm using like a smaller size of styrofoam ball. You can also fill it with like Rice Krispie treats I've seen. The people do it. But depending, like if they're not gonna eat the little figures, then you can just fill it with this one. And these are really light, and it's super good to work with, because the finish is kind of finer than the cereal. And then here I'm just shaping the legs. I really, really like this this modeling paste. I think I've said it before, because it gets really soft, and it's really, really easy to work with, and then it dries really nicely, so that it doesn't lose its shape. At the beginning, I tried like making it at home, which was okay, and maybe mixing it with fondant or putting Tylos, but to be honest, working with already a brand that does specific gum paste, like sugar paste for modeling, is just a game changer completely. Especially if you're going to be doing a lot of figures. I mean, I'm doing tons of figures, so if you're just going to do a few, then you can do it at home. There's a few recipes. If you're interested, then I can share it with you, the one I used to use. But when it gets to a point where you're doing a lot of figures, then I think it's just much easier to just buy it already pre-made, and the results are super, super good. So you can see I just use like a bunch of just rolling out little snakes and attaching. I've basically got the body ready here. In real time, I think this is taking me approximately like 45 minutes to 1 hour to create each of these figures, depending on but the Paw Patrol, for example, since as I said, I've done quite a few, um, then I've already kind of calculated it. Yeah, between 45 minutes and 1 hour is how long I take to do one of the figures. Because right now with the video, it shows us only 12 minutes, but it's in real life, that's how long it would take. So here I'm just giving some details to the little backpack. This stitching tool is actually kind of nice because, as you can see, I mean, I don't have like a huge amount of tools and I'm always using the same ones, but there's a few um, that are kind of nice to have. And this stitching tool is nice because I found you can apply it in a lot of situations, you know, like if you want to do, if you're doing like a cake where, I mean, anything that you want to stitch on, you know, like from kind of a toy teddy, or if you're doing like a bag or kind of a purse cake, or just little details such as these ones, then it's always nice to give it that little detail. So here I'm just putting a toothpick through. So since I have the two styrofoam balls, then it makes it like much different. And by this time already the face is quite dry. So here's how it looks final. I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much, and you can click subscribe. See you.